Bible underneath my right hand. I made it out of tight jams. Guns all on my nightstand. My life should be on Vice Land. My fingertips to hold the marijuana aroma. High school, I went to school high, still got my diploma. He got riddled and left alone for some Skittles in Arizona. The same time a man dies by his own for a pair of Jordan. It's crazy how we living. We all misguided children. Niggas out here getting got, trying to figure out how to get it. We the ones that's not afraid to let the hammers off. The same ones that feed the homeless with the cameras off. The life I'm living kinda hard to get a handle on, but I'm blessed and God knows I can't be mad at all.
I was thinking about who to have on Uncreative Radio next, and it just popped in my head that Joe should do it. Joe obviously is the general manager at C&I Studios, but he's also my brother, and we have had such a great friendship and relationship and brotherhood since the day that he came into this world. And being his older brother, it was just such a delight for me to be able to laugh with him and hang out and share all of our old family stories, new stories, and war wounds and tales from the trenches. Joe is so articulate, and he's one of the few people that can just make me laugh without saying anything. This one is probably going to be my favorite.
This is Uncreative Radio.
You can't even do it. You can't even do it. I knew it.
It's just looking at you. It makes me laugh.
I'm supposed to look at you.
I know.
You're the host. I'm the guest. You told me to be here.
I can't.
You knew what you were signing up for when you bought it.
I want to go home. Yo, this is my baby brother, Joseph Miller.
How you doing? Good to be here.
On Uncreative Radio.
I'm on Uncreative Radio.
This is going to be a hard one for me to get through. Just because you make me laugh a lot.
I'm not doing anything.
I know, but you're just being funny.
I'm just existing.
Right now, you're being funny.
I'm not.
You're being funny.
I'm not being funny.
You have a tone. And it's funny.
I appreciate that, man.
Okay, so Joe, so I don't know where to start. I could tell him about back in the days.
There's a lot of,
I could tell him about you as the GM of C&I now. Joe runs C&I, by the way. Everyone I think that's been one of the biggest changes that I think has been interesting. I think a lot of people don't know how you started at C&I. That's always a really fun story.
Yeah, that's fun when I tell people that. They always ask that question.
It's a good story. So share it.
Well, it's just, usually it comes, I'm doing an interview, and they always ask you. I don't know why they ask.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
How long have you been here?
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to gauge.
I don't know, but they're trying to figure out if C&I is legit based off of how long you've been there.
Right. It's the worst. It's the worst time.
I don't understand it.
But, I always tell them, well, I made the logo.
Right.
That's how I answer that question. Because you could say, I've been here for,
Yeah, let me just drop some knowledge.
Right.
Yeah, the logo, I made it.
Right.
So.
Does it sound better to say I've been here for 13, 14 years?
Right.
Or I made the logo. Yeah, I'm almost, short bites.
I think the logo it's good. It's a very subtle, a punch you in the face.
Right.
With your dumb question.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I like that one.
It's good.
So that's 2006. We redid the logo. It's been the same ever since.
It's been the same ever since. I remember talking to you. It was either Thanksgiving or something. I was like, yo, man, we need a logo. Yeah. I'm not even going to talk about what the logo was.
We don't talk about what the logo was.
but you redid it. And then you were graduating from
NCCU.
Yeah, NCCU, North Carolina Central
University.
And
it's an HBCU.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the HBCU.
HBCU. I feel like I should do a step right now.
No.
I'm not going to do it.
No, okay. Saw that. Appreciate it.
But we and then I was and then you graduated.
Right.
And then I had something going on.
I graduated. Okay. I graduated, and then the next day, Tom Joyner was doing the commencement speaking.
Yes.
He was the commencement speaker at the ceremony.
At your graduation, yeah.
And he was giving everybody $5.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
So you don't have an excuse to fail in life.
Exactly.
Here's $5. Go make something of yourself.
Right.
So I, an intellectual, went up to Tom and said, hey, man, thanks. I'll see you tomorrow. Because we were shooting on the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage.
On the cruise the next day.
The next day.
So you left graduation. And
got on a plane.
Came to Florida.
And then we
got on a boat.
And then
and then we went for however long, 7 days of craziness.
Yeah,
with
man.
The Tom Joyner Morning Show, and that was literally your first day out of college.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it has been a fun. It has been one heck of a ride. A lot of people know that you're into video games.
This is true.
But people don't actually know how good you are. Someone said to me today, I think it was Rocco. I think you were, right, Rocco was like, oh yeah, like, he was like, no. He's like, yo, man, I'm like really good. I was like, no, like, Joe competes. So like, whatever you think you're good at, he will make you look dumb in it.
I talked to Rocco about that. Because Rocco, I'm not going to lie, I love Rocco. Rocco's a hater.
Yeah.
He's a hater. So, if you tell him something, he's going to be like, nah, I don't think so. Like,
right.
Rocco, like, you gotta, he's hands-on. So I like that guy. He's very hands-on. So I was talking to him. I said, to his credit, the only games I'm really not that good at are like the simulation games. So like sports sims.
Right.
FIFA.
Sure.
Racing sims, Gran Turismo.
Right.
Like, if it's realistic.
Right.
I ain't really trying to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I can't play Street Fighter like that, but see me in Smash Bros.
And that's that. That's
You know
a
what I
wrap.
mean?
That's a wrap. My favorite is when we used to play Halo.
Halo
Came out,
the GOAT.
and this is when we were in DC, and we used to have these Halo nights.
Yep.
Where we used to have
Just cables.
different, Ethernet cables.
Look like a just hub over at AT&T.
Connecting every room. This bedroom was a team. That bedroom was a team. And we had all these people come over our house, and we just played Halo for hours. And every time, without fail, you would always just hear, like, everyone just be like, oh, man, Joe killed me from every room.
No, the best is when you hear, because you can't see. You're downstairs in the living room. They're upstairs. We'd have like 4 teams versus 4 other teams. And the best is when you do something.
Yeah.
Like, you would throw a stick grenade or a plasma grenade or something, and you would hit someone with it. And all you would hear is from some other room, dang it, Joe!
Yeah, you hear from the...
And you just sit there and smile. Yes, it was me.
Yeah, dude. Joe, you and we used to... I don't even know what games we used to beat you at.
There weren't any. There was a very short short time.
I want to say me and Isaac, our older brother, we probably won at things till you were like, I don't know, 10 or something.
Maybe.
11.
Maybe about then, yeah.
And then that was pretty much a wrap. And then from there... Master Joe was born in those Halo nights, though, somewhere in there.
Yep.
And that is when people tell me all the time, like we were shooting that ad for One United Bank, and that guy no, not One United Bank, Black Violin. We were shooting for Black Violin's music video, and your buddy was there, and he was in it.
Brian,
and he was like, oh, so you're Master Joe's brother. I'm like, his name is actually not Master Joe. Like, his name is actually Joseph Miller.
It depends on what circle you catch me in.
Everybody knows you as Master Joe.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that came from Halo. It's a Master Chief, Master Joe. There it is.
All right. I've wanted to talk to you about this for probably the longest time.
Okay.
Coming from up north to South Florida.
Oh, God.
What are the differences that you have seen?
Oh, man. I don't know if I'm legally obligated to answer this question.
Joe also does all our HR.
Listen, I run C&I Studios. I don't know if you knew that. I also do HR here, so I got to be really on my guard here. In this
and Joe,
uncreative interrogation.
You also hire everybody.
And fire everyone.
Yeah.
It's two sides of the same coin. Cause and effect.
It was just that you were so fast with it.
It didn't seem like you were going to add that. Be factual for the record. Differences. Geez, north to south. Obviously, it's nice weather down here.
Sure.
Today is like, yesterday was the first day it was
Yesterday was
cold,
a good day. It's that's the time of Florida that I love the most. Once you get that like normal time.
Right,
you get
normal.
You get it from like the end of November to like, I don't know, March.
Maybe.
Maybe not even.
Yeah, maybe.
And then it goes back to the death.
Yeah.
The death heat.
Yeah, the third ring.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, it's a pace thing. So like,
if
I'm thinking about DC, I mean, I was just there. A buddy of mine graduated Howard.
Jonathan works. Jonathan went to Howard. Is Jonathan here? Yay, Howard! Oh God.
Yeah, my buddy got his doctorate in pharmacy, so he's a doctor. He'll make you some drugs, man.
Okay.
Whip them up.
Okay.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But
someone actually did Breaking Bad.
Really?
They arrested these 2 teachers.
Oh, you're serious?
No, seriously. They arrested these 2 teachers that were actually cooking meth in the school.
In the school.
Inside
well,
of
that's in the show. They didn't do that. They did it in the van.
Yeah, these guys didn't have a van.
Yeah.
So they were cooking it in the school.
Oh, you're a product of your environment.
Yeah. And so art inspires life, bro. Good and bad.
It's for sure a pace thing. It's just like everything is so fast and fluid, and connected and moving. It's something about like the city, South Florida, we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there, especially for a lot of development, this and that. Miami is a different animal.
Different beast.
It's a different kind of speed.
Yeah, you got to put it off on its own.
But like business, progressive thinking, people who are really moving, shaking, connecting, collaborating, like all those types of things seem to, everyone seems to have taken the same class.
Right.
In the North and D.C. and, New York and those places, they all kind of know.
Right. This is what the deal is.
Right.
The
Versus
real grind.
South Florida, it's kind of like maybe 2 people know, and then everyone else is like, I'll think about that.
Yeah, it's like there's a diamonds in the rough down here for sure, but finding talent has been definitely very challenging.
Right.
Which leads me to my next segment.
Oh.
Tips with Joe.
This is a segment specifically for me.
Yeah, this is a new segment.
No one else has done this segment.
No, we've been doing it on the show for a long time. We just never have aired it.
This is my segment.
This is
the segment specifically made for me. The segment that you came up to ask me specifically on this show.
Yes.
This is my segment.
This is your segment. There's
see.
sounds coming in somewhere. Tips with Joe. You used to do this on Facebook because you get all of our.
Oh no!
You get all of our inquiries.
My takes.
People I don't know, 20, 30 people a day apply to work here, and they all go to you.
Yep.
And so tell me about some of the craziest things that you've seen in some of these letters, and what will get you hired and what will not get you hired.
Honestly, man, it's always the most basic stuff.
I can't wait.
It's always the simplest things.
Oh, it's good stuff.
I'll tell you some stories, and you have to I don't want to mention any names. And
Yeah.
But if you're applying for a role and and you have access to information, it's the most frustrating thing. I've been in the job hunt, right? And you're trying to find the person to talk to.
Who do I talk to?
Who is this person?
Right.
So you go on their website and you're trying to find out, where's the information? We have this on our website. We have a team page.
Yeah.
Everyone's on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Pictures
even.
Yeah.
Yes. And you have the email to respond to if it's on LinkedIn or Indeed or whatever it is. So you've got information. I think that's the biggest thing that bothers me.
Yeah.
Honestly, is it comes down to the littlest things, and it's always, did you use the information available to you?
Right.
To
they say
fill out the job application.
Yeah, they say our generation, this generation that's growing up, is really weird because they have access to the most information and they know nothing.
There's a okay boomer moment for me almost every day I wake up.
Yeah.
Just because I remember before then, you know, when things were actually somewhat difficult. To,
Right.
You know, you had to
my
get up
favorite.
and go.
What's your favorite getting old thing?
I remember going to a library.
Yeah.
For an actual purpose.
Yeah, I remember going to the library. You had to have a library card. You actually had to go there and do things inside of it.
Yeah, I can remember encyclopedias and almanacs.
Encyclopedias were also a thing. You were not doing a book report unless you had the Britannica. Encyclopedia Britannica or something.
We just call it encyclopedia, you know.
But my favorite is when we used to you driving with MapQuest, actually printing.
It was always wrong.
Printing out the actual list, driving through DC, and that was the way we had to do it.
Printing those out, communicating with people because you didn't have the cell phone all the time. You had the pager.
That's my thing.
I'm gonna call you at 6.
Yeah, and that was it.
Be by the phone
by 6
because it's gonna happen. And if you're not there, I won't know.
My favorite part is when you hey Joe, I'm coming over to your house at 3. I get in my car and leave. You can't decide to go do anything else because I'm going to your house at 3.
I know you're coming.
Yeah, and that's
versus
it.
Now it's hey Joe, I'm coming to your house at 3. Hey man, you on the way? Oh yeah, no, I'm leaving. But you said you were gonna be here at 3.
Yeah.
I'll leave
and it's
at 3.
Oh man, I can't anymore because I gotta. It's oh, but you said.
Right.
Those things have been so interesting, which brings me to my next segment.
Yeah.
Horrible staff stories.
Oh man. Oh man.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you one of my faves.
Okay.
Here's how this game's gonna work. We'll say the story.
This is a fun game.
Hopefully we'll laugh about it, and then the crew will probably get a kick out of it too.
Okay.
My favorite was this person had quit, and then probably 2 years later, they hit us up, and they wrote an email from their personal email that was hey, that was I say this, I shouldn't be saying this.
But they were like, hey, sorry I quit like that. I just want to let you know it was tough for me working there because I was on cocaine the entire time. And I was like, do you remember that?
I don't remember that one.
Do you don't remember that
I
one?
don't think I was working.
I
think I was still doing graphic design.
Oh, yeah, people don't know you started. I was a graphic designer.
Right. I made the logo.
Oh, my God. That was one of my favorites. That was a really fun one.
How long were they working here?
They were there for like 4 months.
Man.
So 4 months of cocaine, I
Wow,
guess.
they dodged a bullet, didn't they?
Yeah.
Every day?
Well, I just never knew why they were so just excited.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this person is just a real go-getter.
Well, cocaine is an upper.
Yeah, and I was like, man, this is crazy. They're just like, but and it was always like this, like, Josh, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do now? Like, I'll do this right now. Like, you're not doing anything, you're just running in a circle. Let's actually do something.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite stories.
Okay, I have a story.
Here we go.
This one is a really, really good story.
Oh no.
So, Instagram.
Oh God.
Whenever you're going into hiring people and you're dealing with their persona, they always throw up this persona. Sometimes you ask them like, hey, what's your Instagram? I want to check your social media, see what you've been posting, see what you see, make sure you're not crazy.
Yeah.
That's some super right-wing stuff.
Yeah.
And you want to see what they're about. So companies do this, check it out. Sometimes the Instagram's private.
Yes.
And it's like, well, I can't make you show me, but
Right.
something's probably there you don't want me to
Something's
see,
fishy.
So it's like, okay. Then they come into your company, they become friends with your other staff. Your other staff can see their Instagram because they're friends. So there have been some interesting discoveries made that had I had access to, it would just kind of inform some other decisions to be made.
Yes.
A lot of stuff in there you just don't want to see.
That was a really good one. One of my favorites. One of my favorite stories. Well, there's a lot of stories. I'm just trying to figure out how to filter these stories.
There's a lot of stories.
I've had that Instagram thing that's happened a few times where you like, okay, that's crazy, but then you just avoid. But one of my favorite stories is when we're over in the new building.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know what the new building is. But
Yeah,
how do we describe the new building?
It was new at the time.
It was new at the time.
It's not new anymore.
We're very literal with our names here. If we're in a new building, it's probably going to be called the new building. And even as we're out of it, we still call it the new building.
The new building.
We were in the new building, and this guy, it's tough because you never know where people are. This guy was like, he wanted to be a web guy. And we were really excited about it. It's not about Mark.
Oh yeah.
And,
no, I know who that is.
So we were like, nah, we don't feel it. We don't really know if this is gonna work out.
Oh god.
So then this guy, like in a Braveheart speech moment, just like threw everything down on the conference table. It's like me, Justin, Ian, and you, and he just stands up and gives us the most compelling speech of all time of why he should have this job. He's like, you don't understand what I can do for this company, and I'll show you. And we were just sitting there like holding our chairs like, oh, when is this gonna end? And he was really passionate. And then so he just beefed up this huge thing about if you give him a shot. And we were like, okay. And then so finally, like me, like I'm like, yeah, let's give him a shot,
We gave him a shot.
And then after that,
It was such a compelling speech.
and after we gave him a shot, he couldn't do anything that he said he could.
It was just the slowest burn. Like,
Oh, it was good.
we were just like, oh, you know what? He really stuck up for himself back
Yeah,
there.
we liked it. It was just really. That was one of my
Really intense.
favorites.
He's
That
a
was one of my.
go-getter.
That was one of my most recent favorites.
I
and
know exactly who you're talking about.
that was a really funny one.
The only thing I'm going to say about that is watch out for people that don't refer to themselves as their name,
Yes. Yeah.
like professionally.
Yes.
My nickname is Master Joe, but here
Yeah.
I am Joseph Miller.
Here's my favorite stories about recent staff. Katie, when we first met her, we took her to.
And she is just the worst.
Yeah, she's not a good person.
She says mean things to me every day.
She says mean things to inanimate objects. So she talks about the gear. Anyway, we meet her in New York. We're like, hey, we want to check you out as a photographer. So we fly her to New York City. and she is dressed in basically a jacket like this, and we're shooting in February. And so she's freezing her butt off the entire time, but also she's trying to like shoot and have some sort of a working interview. But I thought that she was really cool because she stuck with it, and then we went and had some drinks, and I thought that was really cool in New York. Mark came to his interview in a suit. So I was like, all right, this dude means business. I was like, all right, this guy is, and then Rocco, you interviewed Rocco first, but then we didn't get Rocco the first time. We got Rocco. And then I was at Rolling Loud, and I saw Rocco there, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna talk to this guy, and that was a pretty good one.
Right.
And then one of my favorite stories is Jonathan. We knew because he was from DC, and we're like,
Jonathan got the job because he's from DC.
He was like, I was like, this guy gets it. Because
Yeah.
we had just gone through a few struggles.
I mean,
let's call them struggles.
You just, it's a thing.
What do you think makes people stick at a job, and what do you think makes people have that hustle spirit that some people have and some people don't?
Well, I mean, part of it I feel like is just kind of how you are as a person. It's like a personality trait. Because it's really not a hard thing. Like if you think about any job you could potentially work today, right now, if it's not something to do with science or chemistry or advanced mathematics or some kind of crazy machinery, it's probably not hard.
Right.
It's just probably something you need to know how to do.
And
something
get good at
somebody
it.
can show you. So it's like there's not a barrier of skill most of the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's really about just, do I care about what I'm doing? Do I want to do a good job at this? Or do I just kind of want to skate by and, is there another thing I really want to do, so I'm only just doing this as a stepping stone? And I feel like you get a lot of that, especially in like the current talent pool, because everyone's just corrupted with Insta life.
Yeah. Insta life is
fake world.
Insta life is a thing.
It's the Matrix, dude.
Insta life is a thing. I saw Nicki Minaj go off about Instagram likes. And,
Because they're doing the like thing.
They're taking the likes away.
Good.
Which I think is like good.
Great.
Good to get rid of the likes.
Fantastic.
I don't know. Mark, are you a fan of getting rid of the likes?
I am a fan of getting rid of the likes.
Get rid of the likes.
I'm a big fan of getting rid of the likes.
It's just everybody needs to go back, watch that one Black Mirror episode where social likes is currency, and then just see how that goes for us.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of shows, what are you watching right now?
Nothing.
Good.
I don't watch shows. My wife watches shows, and I sit on the couch.
And you sit on the couch.
in the same vicinity.
In the same area.
And then I kind of just pick up what's happening.
Got it.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, place you would love to go but haven't been to.
Tokyo.
Okay. A favorite video game to play before. Favorite video game to play on.
You're having a really hard time with this one.
I'm trying. There's so many consoles that you play. Favorite video game to play on Nintendo 64.
Smash Bros.
Okay.
Original. OG.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Okay, let me think of a few more. Okay, your time that you wake up, if you're not doing anything at all, you have no responsibilities, what time are you waking up?
I try not to. I mean, if I have no responsibilities,
Right.
like I'm the guy that wants to go on vacation and I can't have a good time because people won't let me do what I want to do.
Okay, you're on a vacation, what do you want to do?
I want to sleep.
Yeah, nothing.
That's the only time I have.
Yeah,
If
that's-
I'm here, I'm not sleeping.
That's the point of the vacation.
right. You go there, you do what you want.
Yeah,
I don't want to get up and go to the beach.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that here. Yeah. Why would I want to do that in, Aruba or whatever?
All right, favorite place to go in the States? Outside of...
Boy. Favorite place to go in the States? Right now?
Or one of the tops.
Tops right now, honestly, I had a really good time in Chicago. I feel like people are going to be like, oh, Chicago.
Yeah,
but
it's cold there when it's cold.
they had really good food.
They do.
It was warm
Deep
when
dish.
I went. It was like summerish, So, no, that was like July 4th weekend. Yeah,
Okay.
That was a good time.
Okay, right on.
The deep dish is overrated. So.
Favorite decade
Sue
so
me.
far?
Oh, God, the 90s.
The 90s.
Yeah. Most personality in a decade
Mark, what
ever.
do you think? Favorite decade?
Hands down the 90s.
What in the 90s was just so...
Everybody was doing their absolute best
Yeah.
for the right reasons.
Man.
Except for the people who weren't.
TGI Friday. TGIF.
TGI Friday, TGIF.
That was like...
All the cartoon blocks, all the Nickelodeon stuff, all the
So
Disney stuff
good.
at that time was good too. Like television was experimenting and having fun, but
Yeah.
like what they were producing was good.
Who was the show that you think wrecked everything? Because all the shows like Saved by the Bell, Family Matters, Step by Step, all this stuff had a moral.
Yeah.
Everything was about if we were putting something out for like young people, it was like, yo, it's about teamwork. It was about like, even Fresh Prince had episodes where it's like, yo, man, like,
Yo, Fresh Prince had some episodes.
Fresh Prince had some
Fresh Prince
things.
got me through some times.
Had some times like Carlton had the gun. Give me the gun, Carlton. But what do you what show do you feel like shifted it to just everything went downhill from there?
I don't know if you could pin it on one show exactly.
You probably couldn't.
But okay, if I'm thinking about it in terms of a genre, there's always one show that then the rest of the genre takes over.
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking about cartoons, I used to love, Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
I just grew up on that stuff.
Yeah.
Man. It's great. You got your golden age, and then your new stuff comes in. As soon as they shifted into that Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends style of the lion art type, and then then Total Drama Island came out, and all these other just flat and Johnny Test or whatever the heck.
I don't know what that.
The quality, just.
And when I think when Drake came on TV, and what was his show?
Degrassi.
What was that? I feel
Wasn't Drake the one in the wheelchair?
Yeah,
He was.
I feel like that was a turning point. No, concur? Anyone concur?
I never watched Degrassi. I don't.
Neither did I, but I
Hey.
feel like Drake probably had something to do with it.
Yeah, it's so all right. So the downfall of television.
The downfall of
goes
television
to Drake
is on Drake.
from Toronto.
But that all the television stuff changed. What were things that you and I couldn't do as children because of the household we were raised in?
Oh boy, watch Scooby Doo.
Couldn't watch Scooby Doo.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't
What
watch
else?
Smurfs.
Couldn't watch The Simpsons.
Could not go. I can count on two hands the number of sleepovers I've had in my lifetime.
No, sleepovers, we were not allowed to go to a sleepover. People could sleep over at our house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Trying to tell that to my daughter right now all the time.
Yeah, she's a champ, man. She's
Yeah.
going for some records.
And then what else? Okay, we couldn't watch TV through the week.
Nope. Video games through the week.
And couldn't play video games through the week.
Did it anyway.
Yeah, we did. My favorite story about that is when Mom and Dad, because they taught financial counseling.
Oh my gosh.
And so on Wednesday night,
Wednesday
they
night
would be gone. And then we would go on top of the freezer where the Super Nintendo was.
Yeah, and you know what? Super Nintendo at the time was not an easy thing
Okay.
to connect.
Yes, because the Super Nintendo had a coaxial cable that
Well, we had an old TV.
We had an old
we had
TV.
one of those old black family home
Yeah,
TVs.
where it sits on the floor.
in your grandma's house.
mahogany.
The whole mahogany boxed in
and has
speakers.
one coaxial, and so you had
Knobs.
there was no red, white, and yellow cable. We had
No
a coaxial, no remote, so you had to get behind the TV and set this thing up. So they were there.
Kids don't even know what coaxial is. They probably think that's some kind of a car term. Or
Yeah, so they
some
were
kind of a co-ed, some
so
fancy a coaxial. What is that about?
So they were away for like an hour, 30 minutes. As soon as we held the garage, they came out of the garage. As soon as it hit down,
Yeah.
we went in, grabbed the Super Nintendo, came down, hooked it up as fast as we possibly can. They sit there and play for as long as we can. And the key was we would keep it on a low volume because we had to hear the garage door. So when Dad would click the garage door opener and it would start going up again, we had T-minus like 15 seconds.
15.
50 seconds to undo all that
Everything. Wherever you were, operation start, abort.
And then we put it all up, and then we had to act like, my favorite is you had to act like you were doing something else.
I was going to let you tell it, but I'll just add to the record that I never participated.
No, so here's the thing.
I never helped. I never helped with the breakdown. I fully abandoned both of my brothers to finich everything.
You're not even telling. Okay, so as soon as Dad clicks the remote and the garage are going up, Joe just gets up and runs as fast as he can upstairs.
I was terrified.
And me and I was going, oh my God, because there was so much to do.
I was like 7. I was scared.
And then, so, we were just like, imagine my dad coming in, and if anyone knows my dad, he has his own actual aura.
Yeah.
And so, imagine him coming in the door. We're just kind of sitting up there like, whoa, we're just reading. Like, what do you mean? And then he just, death stare where he just knows.
Right.
Knows. And then, so, we were cool. We ran that con for years.
Years.
And then till one day, he came home, and we were just like, oh, Dad, what's going on? Me and Joe are just reading about Thurgood Marshall or whatever. And
It was always civil rights leaders.
and then he comes in, looks at us, and puts his hand on the back of the TV, and he could feel that it's warm.
Oh, yeah, he did that.
And then
he knew.
He beat the hell out of
Yeah,
us.
he knew at that point.
He knew.
I forgot he did that.
Yeah, he did that. That
He
was
evolved.
the thing. That was the thing. He evolved.
You think parents are doing that today?
Yeah, I'm listening. I don't know about you, Mark, but I am
on top of all this tech stuff. People always wondering, like, hey, Josh, why you know about this? Why you know about these cameras? Why you know about these things? Because I need to know what's going on.
You're going to get left behind. You're going to get left behind.
I am left behind because she said something to me the other day that I didn't know what it was. She was like, hey, Dad. She was like, I got 7,000 likes on TikTok. And I was like, hey, don't worry about likes, because that's the whole thing. I was trying to go off in this whole soapbox about likes and stuff. But then I realized, what the hell is TikTok? And that is when I realized that there's other things going on. And like people, like, did you know people still use Snapchat to this day?
Yeah.
I thought Instagram killed that. But
I thought so too.
People keep it for their shenanigans.
I just remember Snapchat coming out and the whole premise being, oh, your content will disappear in 24 hours. And I was just thinking, that doesn't sound like such a good idea.
Yeah.
Seems like that removes accountability from a
Exactly.
otherwise unaccountable system.
And I always thought, well, if they're deleting after 24 hours, who's keeping them? Like, they're going somewhere.
They're going somewhere.
So who's keeping them?
No one's ever really gone.
Exactly. Wow. But so those I'm trying to be super tech savvy to stay on
Let me talk about TikTok for a second, because I had this conversation with my wife the other day. TikTok replaced Vine.
Okay, but it did. So
right?
Vine was 6-second videos. I don't even know what TikTok is.
Yeah. No, TikTok is new Vine.
New Vine.
The new ones will have you believe that TikTok is new, but
No.
everything is just
TikTok
some
is
rehash of
Vine.
it. So Vine came out with the original idea for that short
6-second
format.
6-second
you know?
videos.
And the thing that was cool about Vine is it had nothing. Like,
Yeah.
that was it. That's all it did.
That's where everyone started doing those funny sketches with themselves.
Well, it's
They'd be
hilarious
like,
because it'd be really hard to actually do. Like, you would try to do one yourself.
Right.
And it's like all the restrictions. You have to put your finger on the button to record.
Right.
You know, no hands-free.
Yeah, it was
and
a
you got to
thing.
do this and turn. And the stuff that people could produce with those limitations
Was incredible.
That's why it was cool.
Yeah.
You know, so now you got TikTok, and it's like, I can make myself sound like a hamster. Ha!
I've never gone to it yet.
It's just the lowest brow stuff, man.
Yeah.
Low brow.
Yeah, it's interesting, man.
That's my thing. Like, coming back to the work stuff, low brow.
What's your favorite or what's your most hated social media platform now?
Most hated. I mean, if I'm speaking like from an intellectual standpoint, I would say Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook is most hated just because Facebook is also the most influential.
Okay.
If Facebook changes something, it like wrecks the economy.
Right.
You know, like it changes the way you have to live your life.
Yeah, and that's why everyone started with those Facebook logins and stuff, and now you're just you're tied, you're connected.
Yeah, but even still, like you can still go out there, say something, and your phone will pick it up, and then you go home to get on a different computer that's not even like a PC or something, not even the network.
Right.
And then I'll go on and I'll see an ad on Facebook
For that
thing I said 2 hours ago.
They are listening in crazy ways, man.
You know, so
Facebook, for me, my most hated platform is probably sadly becoming Instagram.
yeah, really?
Yeah.
Just because it's fake?
Yeah, well, I only use Instagram now for I like studying like filmmakers and DPs and see what gear people are using and all this kind of stuff. I like it for that. But it's really hard to I guess I don't use it anymore like how it first came out when you were just posting and doing cool stuff, talking to people. It's just different now. Now it's like, ooh, is this good enough to post? And that's when, is this good enough to post?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, forget this thing.
Yeah, that's true. And the feeds and you know.
Twitter has stayed true to its name. Twitter's always been Twitter.
Oh, I left Twitter.
You left Twitter.
I forgot about that. Well, most hated. That
Yeah.
implies it still exists.
Sure,
to you.
sure.
Twitter's dead.
Twitter's
Twitter
gone
died.
for you.
Yeah, I just, something about that. Something about I put a news story out, and you can immediately just divulge into this entire thread about that thing. So much stuff gets washed up and taken out of whack on Twitter. It is unbelievable.
It's crazy. Twitter world is crazy.
It's unbelievable.
Twitter world is the whole thing.
Yeah. Twitter's where it goes down.
Twitter is 100% where it goes down.
Yeah.
So much news and all this stuff is just Twitter.
Yeah.
And then for me, I think Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, but it's always been that thing is a force.
It's huge, and it's in everything.
Zuckerberg is controlling stuff.
Right.
That is a thing.
I mean, I don't like to, delve too far into the mindscape of it all, but, I'm a big believer in Terminator. So
yeah, Skynet.
When you see things in corporations and it's like, okay.
That's my favorite thing. That's my favorite thing. We watch those old movies and you're just like iRobot. You're like, oh yeah, robots will be doing their stuff.
That's happening now.
And then I saw those cash registers. And then those people don't have jobs anymore because those cash registers is like, you do it yourself by the robot. I'm like, oh.
It's like what's the Amazon grocery store?
Oh, I don't know, Fresh, Amazon Fresh.
Something like that. It's like you just go in and there's no people.
And you go in and you just.
There's like one guy.
Yeah.
The whole store.
Yeah.
and you just you check it out yourself.
It's weird, man.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if, like, I saw the latest Terminator, because you don't really get out to watch movies anymore.
Yeah,
But,
last movie I saw in the theater was like, I don't know, Prince of Egypt.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I was probably there when you saw that, actually. That's one of the things we could do when we were
I know. I think one of the last ones I saw like the Force Awakens.
Okay.
Was probably the last one.
That's fair. But so last Terminator, it's a very weird premise. So if you're going to see it, say,
Is this the one that's out now?
Yeah, this is the one that's out now. It's called Dark Fate or something.
Oh, yeah.
But like the original Terminator, it's Skynet. We got to stop it. We didn't. Now we got to go back and try to stop it again from the future. Cool. So this one, the premise is we stopped it. No Skynet. Great. Humanity just built another one, and the same thing happened, but worse.
That's good.
So it's like,
That's super good.
what?
So that's good.
I just wonder if we're ever going to that point where we end up screwing ourselves.
Yeah, is that
We have
the?
so much source material to learn from.
Yeah, is that the worst movie you've seen in theaters recently?
Well, it's the only movie I've seen in theaters recently, so
Yeah.
it's also the worst.
How does
that
it
I've seen.
feel? You wrote a really funny comment on Instagram the other day. You were at the studio and something was happening. People were just asking you a bunch of stuff, and someone said, "What's your which record do you like more, Kanye's
Oh yeah.
Dark Twisted Fantasy or 808s and Heartbreaks?" And you said 808s because 808s is sad, and now that I'm a sad adult, 808s.
Listen, man.
That's so good.
You've got to be in the right state of mind to
That's-
enjoy certain kinds of
that's
music.
really
If you're
good.
angry, you want to listen to angry music. You don't listen to angry music when you're happy.
That's really good,
Like,
man.
oh, what's this angry stuff? Turn that off.
I just love
Get mad and then listen to some death metal. See how you feel.
I love the idea of the perspectives changing as you get older.
That's great.
That's my favorite thing in the world.
If there's one thing I wish younger me picked up on more, it's the fact that when people tell you how great things are, they're lying.
Yeah.
It's not that things are bad. It's just not as great as they say they are.
Right.
Because then you build up this whole idea in your head of how great something's going to be.
Right.
And then it's not going to meet that. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
It doesn't suck. It's exactly how it's supposed to be.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Call center.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah.
And I've done food. The only one I haven't done is retail. But everyone needs to work in a call center.
Dude.
If I ever become president, it's mandated law.
It's good. For me, probably being a doorman.
Oh, yeah.
That
But you
would-
had doorman at the Ritz, though.
Yeah. But little did I thought that would be different.
Like, it's better than doorman at, like, Motel 6.
You would think, but it was actually just really bad.
Ah, well.
So that was the worst one. and
Probably worse clientele at the Ritz.
it was really bad.
You ever just run into that? Like, what's the... You're going to the Ritz, right?
Right.
You've already made it to a certain degree.
Right.
Why do you got to poop on the door guy?
Yeah. It's just bad.
He just works here.
It's just bad.
Or, like, the bartender.
Really
you know?
humbling experience.
Right.
And I think those shape you. You need some of those. People need to go through like what a retail waiter
Absolutely,
call
man.
center feels like.
Because, to me, it works the same way. Like, people... This is like, okay, this is a work story. This is the thing I hate. This is just like a general thing. So for all the staff that are listening, people will come to you dead in your face, and like you're the owner of a company or the general manager or some kind of leadership, role, and you're doing stuff, right? They'll come to your face and they'll say, "Man, I'm just so tired. I've been working so hard."
Right.
And I'm just like,
It builds up.
there's a threshold of what working hard is.
Right.
Sometimes working hard is actually just doing your job.
Right.
Sometimes working hard is you've been doing your job a lot. and
Right.
intensely.
Right.
Like when you're doing 50 shoots in a row and your body's breaking down for lack of sleep.
Right.
Other times working hard is just juggling a million things and trying not to let any of them fall.
Right.
So when you have a person that's just kind of doing, what their job is actually supposed to be on like a day-to-day basis, and they're just like, oh man, I'm just having such a, oh my God.
Well, it's perspective, I think.
This is so crazy. I cannot believe that this is what they expect me to do.
Yeah, because I think when you're in whatever job that you're in, you always think that. Well, you're isolated. Sometimes you could be an island and think about what you're trying to do, and it's always very difficult to look at. In any situation, it's hard to look at it from somebody else's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But if I would go back and tell younger Josh something, it would be, do not start your own. Oh, stick with the doorman thing, dude. That thing will pay off. No, man, there have been so many up and down battles.
It's difficult.
Yeah, there have been a lot of up and
It's
down
difficult.
battles.
Can I say this? Like, there's a thing in company, because it's one of the cool things about getting to this spot, because like my whole journey at C&I was start the logo. That logo, by the way, was from an internship. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like freshman year or something. Hey, Josh, I need an internship.
I was like, cool. What do I sign?
Yeah, can I come up there and get some credit for college?
Yeah. Like,
but I came out there, did the logo, did graphic design, then did graphic design part-time in college.
Right.
And then full-time afterward. Went down first studio, doing some logos for actual clients, and then moving on to kind of lead graphic designer, creative director, art director, and then general manager. That was like the track path.
Right.
So I've been on all sides of the desk.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So when I think about it from that perspective, there's a thing, and you'll see it a lot, where company is like perpetually the bad guy.
Right.
Perpetually.
Sure.
No matter what.
It's like going right back for as far as
Like,
people
can you
work for
imagine
people.
someone like today was pissed off with Faith Farm?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Someone
right.
was angry at St. Jude.
Right.
Like, so the company is always the bad guy.
Right.
And I always kind of wonder about that. And it comes from this perspective, I feel like, of folks that just kind of don't know what it's like to be on that other side.
The other side is hard.
There's a game, a VR experience that came out where you basically play the role of a manager who's firing someone. And it's like a smart AI, employee that you have to fire. It's an elderly gentleman. I think his name's like Gerald or something like that.
So super difficult.
Yeah, and it's like, he's just like this sweet old guy. He could be like your granddad or something, and you have to fire this guy.
Fire them.
And I was like, this is amazing. Everyone
Yeah.
play it.
Yeah.
Yes. You'll finally understand what it's like. We don't like to do this. This
Right.
sucks.
This is the worst thing ever.
Because sometimes it's like, you don't want to, no company wants to
Nobody.
hire somebody and like, all right, 3 months from now, I can't wait.
Yeah, we were wrong about that.
Don't fire until Xmas.
Yeah,
Like, it's awful.
I feel one of the hardest things is, just continue to push forward through all the shenanigans that happen. And there's so many times that make you just want to just literally shut it all down.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just like push through.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing that I feel like I've just learned is just continue to push through. Realize who's on your team, who's awesome.
Yep.
And then continue to just like stay true to why you started doing the daggone thing in the first place. But what I like about your story is the fact that you have been a kid who started out of like video games, and then you started building yourself to do that and play and travel around and play, and then it's led you to all these different opportunities, to doing so much Magic Leap stuff. Like stuff was just crazy to see that path go.
Yeah, it's weird to be in this side. I'm usually where Mark sits.
Right. And yeah, exactly, running the show from there. And then, but you never know where your experiences will take you if you just let them, and if you push yourself as hard as you possibly can, and there's always fruits in that. So
yeah, man, there's a lot of transferable skills, I feel like, and people always kind of, I feel like, sell themselves short a little bit in that department.
Right.
You can't really see past how the fact that you don't like to be late to like your friends' events.
Right.
How you can translate that to being, I
Absolutely.
will never be late at this job.
At this thing.
There's like this barrier of the job's not mine.
What's your favorite form of communication? Face
To face.
Face
To face.
Face to face.
That's how we did it in the 90s.
That's how we did it in the 90s.
Eye to eye, even.
Yeah, eye to eye.
Eye to eye. Eye to eye.
Eye to eye. If you don't know what that was, I'm looking dead into the camera right now. That was a reference to a 90s film. That film was called A Goofy Movie. Boom! Uncreative Radio, Joseph Miller. We out. Okay.